The line was crossed quietly. No shouting, no slammed doors, just a sentence tossed out with the casual arrogance of someone convinced the ground beneath them would never give way. My ex invited me to the Maldives, she said, eyes glued to her phone. Don't be jealous. Silence handled the rest. That's when I felt it, the precise moment respect slipped out of the room. It didn't storm out or put up a fight. It just folded itself up neatly and left. In my mind, I watched the door close and didn't try to stop it. I nodded. Calm, neutral, like a man simply listening. But inside, something died. The apartment felt too clean that night, the kind of clean that seems artificial, staged. Her heels by the door, my jacket still hanging where I'd left it. The city buzzing through the windows like it didn't give a damn who betrayed whom. She moved around me like I was just another piece of furniture, packing light, smiling at messages she didn't bother to explain. The air smelled like her perfume mixed with inevitability. Friends had been over earlier, wine glasses on the counter, laughter still lingering in the walls. They'd heard the joke, the Maldives, the ex, the way she'd said it like a power move. A few glanced my way, sympathy without the guts to speak up. Nobody said a word. I swallowed it all. Public disrespect is a performance, and the audience matters. She knew that. So did I. I smiled back, played my role. She left the next morning. A kiss on the cheek. A promise to talk later. Later is the lie people tell when they're already gone. The door clicked shut. The lock sounded louder than it ever had. I stood there a long time, counting breaths until the apartment finally felt like it belonged to me again. That's when I broke, not loudly, not dramatically, just a quiet acceptance that the woman I protected had decided to test the man I am. And tests have consequences. I didn't rage. I didn't beg. I didn't post cryptic quotes or call friends to pick apart the wreckage. I sat down, opened my laptop, and breathed. Calm is a weapon when you know how to wield it. I pulled threads, old emails, shared accounts, casual names she dropped without thinking twice. The ex, his life, his wife. People always underestimate what you know once they stop respecting you. I found her in 10 minutes. Profile picture, smiling family. Bio full of faith, routine, stability. I stared at it, feeling nothing. That's how I knew I was ready. I typed one message. Clean, polite, precise. Hi, I think we should talk. It's about your husband and a trip to the Maldives. I hit send, then waited. She replied faster than I expected. Confused at first, then angry, then firing off specific questions, screenshots, dates, times. I gave her everything. No commentary, just facts. Truth hits hard when you drop it without warning. Minutes later, another message, so, do we wait or have some fun together? I smirked for the first time since the door had closed. Wait? No thanks. And that was it. The switch flipped. Revenge isn't loud. It's administrative. While they were planning sunsets in private villas, I was making calls, canceling what I could, separating what was mine, changing passwords she'd never bothered to memorize because comfort breeds laziness. I removed my name from the shared luxuries first, streaming services, travel points, the quiet perks she took for granted. Then the real work started. I notified landlords, banks, employers. Nothing dramatic, just updates, compliance, accuracy. Truth has a way of rearranging lives when delivered through official channels. I watched from a distance as panic spread. Calls I ignored, messages that shifted in tone. The first crack in her confidence, the ex scrambling to explain why his wife suddenly knew everything. They hadn't planned for fallout, only pleasure. Amateurs. The Maldives trip fell apart within a week. Refund problems, visa delays, a sudden family emergency on his end. His wife moved out, took the kids, changed the locks. She texted me late one night, he says you did this. I read it twice, let it sit. You did this, I typed back. No punctuation. Her world began to shrink. Friends stopped inviting her out, people hate being close to fallout. Her job called about undisclosed conflicts of interest. Small things, manageable things, until they piled up. She tried charm, then anger, then tears. I stayed silent. Silence forces people to sit with themselves, and that's unbearable for those who've never had to. The ex called once, straight to voicemail. His voice cracked with promises, threats, apologies all tangled up. I deleted it. His wife didn't need me anymore. She'd found her own strength. I respected that. We stopped communicating without fanfare. The job was done. She showed up at the apartment unannounced, eyes red, mascara smudged, the old confidence replaced by fear dressed up as defiance. We stood facing each other like strangers. You ruined everything, she said. I tilted my head, studied her like a closed case file. No, I said calmly. I ended it. She tried to argue, to rewrite history, to downplay the insult like it was just a joke gone wrong. I let her talk. When she finished, I stepped closer. You didn't think I'd move, I said. You thought silence meant weakness. Her breath caught. That trip wasn't about the Maldives, I continued. It was about seeing how little you could give me and still keep my place. I opened the door. We're done. The payoff wasn't dramatic. It was quiet mornings without tension, accounts in order, sleep without doubt, the slow return of dignity to places she'd worn thin. I saw her once, months later, somehow smaller, avoiding my eyes. I didn't look away. Justice doesn't need applause. It needs balance. She tested me publicly. I answered privately, completely. And every time I think back to that sentence, don't be jealous, I smile. Not because I won, but because I remembered who I am. And I never had to raise my voice to prove it.